one of the ties that bound the black community together was the fact that it was more overt, you against us, and the black church was a stabilizing force within the black community.
I agree.
It was, and say what you want to say about not believing in God, fine. Say what you ever want to. Oh, they be in there talking shit too. Everywhere you go, niggas gonna be talking shit. So don't tell me there's a place you can go where people ain't gonna do that.
Yeah.
Okay? Or they'll be like, oh man, the white man gave you that religion. Okay, fine. Tell me where you can go right now and find a place where we can go and interact with each other with all our cultural nuances, and we can be honest and have our kids growing up together,
that's a really
knowing
good
each other.
perspective, because men have always been men, right? But black men, I feel like back in the day were a lot more respectful. Maybe because they had the two-parent household, and we were more.
And then up until the early 70s,
yeah,
the most two-parent households in America
were the blacks. So, you know, I do think that church, because I remember one day I said, man, why niggas don't sing? Niggas don't sing in the rain no more. Like, what happened to that? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And a man said that's because don't nobody go to church no more. And I thought about that, and I say, maybe that's why they were so respectful and had, like I said, men have always been men. That's not to say they didn't cheat
1000%.
or beat or whatever.
Because they was doing that then too.
Yeah, but it was a different outlook on it. Like, from a bird's eye view, it was more, I think it's better to be like a gentleman fuckboy than just the outright disrespectful.
Right. Being future
like,
and shit.
Yeah, like if he opened up the door for me, but like if he opened up the door and pumped the gas and paid for the food, but I found out like he was still fucking other girls. Like, I'm not necessarily tripping.
Right.
Like,
I feel you.
At least he wiped his feet at the door.
Right.
So that's how I'm looking at it. That was a really good perspective.
Well, and you know what? Once again, I'm not going to sit here and say for the sake of this argument, because we don't have enough time to get into those things, that we got to run back to the, and bar ourselves in the door to church, which on some level I do kind of sort of think that might be helpful. You know what I mean?
I think like my man Sharif did, he said on Menace to Society, if Allah can make him a better man than Jesus can, then I'm all for it. And I feel like that about any religion or any, if you want to be a part of the Church of Scientology, and I see that you have changed dramatically and you're doing more for your family, you're doing more for the community, you're more loving, you're just an overall better person than you were before, then I'm cool with whatever spirituality that you tap into. Like my cousin, he's on some ancient Kemet shit, right? Mm-hmm. And I've noticed since he started that he's been carrying himself a lot differently. I don't know a lot about ancient Kemet, but hey, the things that I do know about it is like, okay, that's a good thing for you to be involved in, because obviously it's getting into your spirituality and you move in different.
Can I tell you what the connection to a higher power allows people to do? One, it gives you a very specific set of guidelines, right? Even if you just, I believe in God, well, when you get that feeling of shit you shouldn't be doing, all right, bro. You know what I'm saying? Now, it's going to be different for everybody, depending on where you at and how you move. Okay. But if we're talking about organized spirituality, I don't even want to call it organized religion. I'm going to say organized spirituality. Instant community. Why did gangs blow up so damn quick? Because it gave you a sense of community. I'm going to go talk to one of my bros about this. You know what I'm saying? They might not be shit, but at least it's somebody else I can go bounce. Because there's some things, as you know, you only really should be talking to your girls about this. You call your mama and your aunties when we get together in the family and all y'all sitting together and
like Pac said, even though they sold drugs, they showed a young brother love.
Listen, that's real. All right, and then you go get that trade knowledge that you can only go get from a woman who's been around the block 10 times. You know what I'm saying? When I get around my uncles, I do not do a whole lot of talking. You know what I'm saying? And it's not because I can't meet them at that level now. Every time I'm with them, they say at least one thing, and I'm like, I wouldn't have got that if I was opening my mouth too. When they ask me a question, I always give them what I got. You know what I'm saying? But there's instant community, and that insulates. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's a source of knowledge. It's a source of comfort. All that. You know what I'm saying? Another thing it does is a lot of people. Oh man, you want to find a mate? Go to church. You know what I'm saying? I ain't saying it always worked out. Obviously, we know it wasn't always perfect. You know what I'm saying? Because we see some relationships that Now it's like that wouldn't have lasted today because you know what I'm saying.
Society's strange.
I want 1,000%. So you got community, you got relationships. One, there's a direct chain of command. There's leadership in place. The pastor is the leader. Under him, you got the assistant pastor. You got whatever little bishops may be in place. You got the deacons. You got the senior members of the church that may not hold positions or used to hold positions, right? And then you got the regular congregation. You kind of learn, that's what work is. You got your supervisor. You got the manager. You got the director. You got the regional VP, and then you got the big boss who show up once a year. He walk around with his coffee, and all the other bosses are following him around like a little fucking puppy dog, following their mom. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing. You learn respect. All these things are in place. And once again, I'm sure there are other organizations where you can go and get this, but it's ready made right there. And certainly not least, I believe that when you believe in something greater than yourself, throughout human history, we have always looked to the skies, right? To the cosmos for guidance, for whatever. And when you give it a name and you give it some characteristics and it tells you it loves you and I'm going to take care of you, people find comfort in that. And that's why there will always be religion. You know what I'm saying? And even you take something like science or mathematics, people take comfort in that because there's community, there's organization, there's rules, there's a direct lineage. This person is the authority on this. Well, we should go seek this person out when we got questions. And I think a lot of that is just missing. So you just got a lot of people out here wandering around. And one of the reasons the black community has failed is because the church has failed to adapt. I've been to a lot of churches. We don't want the people in here. Hold on, bro. It directly tells us we got to go be fishers of men. You know what I'm saying? So you going to leave your people out there to die, bro? With your bougie ass. You know what I'm saying? And that's part of the reason why some people don't want to go, because they like, oh, bro, I see what this is. Yeah. Y'all don't want to come out here and deal with us. When your pastor
pulling up in a Mercedes and half of us walking here.
Hey, man, that's the thing, too. That's the thing, too.
But I do believe, like me, I'm not a religion person. I'm a spirituality person.
Most of us are.
Yeah, and I think it's because we grow up and we're looking like we have more evidence and we have more research. Like we got more things that we can research and we can find proof and stuff like that.
Pull up my phone. What did God say about this?
You know what I'm saying? So
that sounds like some food shit.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I feel like that's part of the reason why a lot of more people are not. It's a word. Damn, what's the word? But basically, people don't believe in religion, but they more on a spiritual level. And I think that's because for so long it's been so much bullshit. And people are like for instance, that man, I don't know if you see the video, but this guy, this priest in Brazil, he's preaching. He's saying, and for you women who overweight, fat women will not be accepted into heaven.
And he's a false prophet.
This woman got on stage and pushed him off stage.
Oh, is that why that happened?
Yes.
I just saw the video of him falling. You know what I mean? I was just like, damn, what is this? Because he had like a white robe. It was like a big church or something like that. I didn't know what that was.
Yo,
she shoved my man.
Pushed the shit out of him.
He fell completely up. I thought he was hurt. Because I was like, damn. It wasn't like a short fall, G. Yeah. Damn.
And she was kind of chunky herself.
She was, G.
So
she was triggered.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, we see so much of this, so much of man-made narrative and man-made wants. That it's like, how can I trust you? How can I submerge my life into this? And then you see your auntie or your grandma who been paying her tithes for 30 years, get sick and can't get no help.
Right.
In the hospital dying, ain't nobody visiting.
Right.
Or the people die and then you come to the church with not as much money, but like again, grandma been paying tithes here for 30 years and y'all can't give us a discount on her funeral, or y'all can't just do it here. And you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
It's like things like that, or you're not giving back. The only thing you're doing is a vacation Bible school. You're not giving back to your community like that.
And I think I'm with you, and that's why I said that. I'm not gonna do that, but I think that's where we have sort of failed to develop. And you see a lot of these newer churches coming around, and they fit more of the now mold. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because in Dallas, I had rolled past. It's a couple churches.
Is Joel Osteen's church in Dallas? Do you know who that is?
It's in Houston.
He's okay. You're right. It is. You're right.
I rolled past this huge church, and first of all, I worked for
Jason's out there in Dallas.
I don't know. I think he is. Yeah, he is. TJ Church is in Dallas. The Mans are from Dallas. Well, they from Fort Worth.
Okay, dig. Well, that's
Tamlin and David Mann. They from out there. But I work for. I mean, this church is. They rake in about 20 million.
Really?
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's not even for the whole year.
Yeah.
That was around Christmas time.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So this is a huge church. I'm not gonna say their name, but I'm in a partnership with a church like this, and they have a private school.
Okay.
That's how I cook there.
Good for them.
So, but I rolled past another church that's right by this church, and I noticed that they had this. You know how they have the Megatrons out there. You know, having signs, different slides going through.
Right.
So one of the slides, I was sitting at a stoplight, and one of the slides popped up, and it was a gay flag, and it said, "Everyone is welcome. It doesn't matter, no judgment."
I'm not mad at that.
And I said, "Wow, like a lot of these churches are really adapting to the time."
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Because it was like, of course, we all knew it was hella gay niggas in the choir.
Jeez,
but you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
But you know,
yeah.
It wasn't accepted. It wasn't like you can come in here, you know, and who as you are and who you are, and to worship the Lord.
Yeah.
It was get that devil shit out of here. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's to your point of how a lot of these churches are starting to develop and starting to accept any and everybody. I think it's mind blowing.
Well, you know what? I grew up very Christian. I'm gonna be honest, I used to be a homophobe because of the way that I was raised, and there was no context. It was that's wrong. Period in the story. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That was it. That's just what it was. And if somebody is upset with me for that, I'm willing to have that conversation. You know what I'm saying? Because I realized how ignorant I was at 18, 19 years old.
Well, do you think you changed because you were forced with society, or did your views open up?
Man, I became friends with a lot of gay people, and it was mostly due to proximity. I worked right next to them in the Marines. I was right there next to them. They were outstanding at their job. They gave a fuck about me. You know what I'm saying? I watched them give a fuck about other people. You know what I'm saying? And I saw people treating them with respect. And I saw them demanding respect, not necessarily because they were regular folks. And I don't think the same people that, if we're going to call homosexuality an affliction, we have to deal with that in the same way that we deal with people who are addicted to sex. You know what I'm saying? I mean, how many virgins got married in church? You know what I'm saying? That white dress is supposed to represent something. My mom got married with my brother, and she's a direct preacher's kid because my granddad was the pastor. Sorry, Ma, I love you. You know what I'm saying?
But like, the facts are the facts.
The facts are the facts. So we can't pick and choose which sin is gonna be oustable and which one is not. You know what I'm saying? Because we gotta let God deal with that. Our job is to bring them in, give them the love and the instruction that they need. You know what I'm saying? And treat them like family. And if we coming in here acting like, no, you can't be here because you doing dicks, or you coming in here with a woman holding hands. No, bro, come in here and have a seat. This is what we got to say. And if you don't like it, then there's the door. But I'm going to show you love while you up in here.
Right. So
you know what I'm saying?
I'm going to play devil's advocate. I want to do this. And then after this is whatever.
Yeah.
So, and let's say somebody comes to church, they gay.
Okay.
Gay man and a gay woman. They both started this church at the same time, right?
They started the church.
No.
Oh, they come to the church. Okay.
They both became members of the church at the same time.
Okay.
Both of them are in relationships with the same sex. Okay.
Okay.
So they start to come to this awakening. They can't be gay no more.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
So they both decide that they gonna get out of relationships with their partner and be together.
Interesting. I've heard of weirder things.
Would you be like, oh no, they still gay, or would you be like, they delivered?
I was at a church with my friend, and his son was getting christened, so I wanted to be there. He's not my God saying anything, but that's my brother. Yeah. So that's my nephew now. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And the pastor had a little too much swag about him. You know what I'm saying? And after church, we were all just kind of hanging and just being a part of the, you know what I'm saying? And he was like, yeah, man, you know, when I got out of jail, and in my mind, I'm like,
oh, that's what it was.
You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, he's been through some stuff. You know what I mean? And I don't know what he didn't get into what he did. It could have been robbery. You know what I'm saying? With no intent to kill him, but maybe he just, I'm taking this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right.
I'm not saying it's better or worse. What I've just said, it is what it is.
Yeah.
I can't look at them any different than I would him. How many stories have we heard of the woman who used to sell her body, and now she come in here and now she own it. And now there's so many women I've seen in churches at their older stage in life, the most pristine, respectable woman you could ever want to imagine. But in their younger days, Tatiana to the utmost.
I mean, to be real, that's a lot of our mamas.
I told you I didn't know my mama at 19.
So
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I met her at 34 when she had
established.
Classy bitch.
You know what I'm
Classiest, you know what I'm saying? And you know, that's just what it is. And a lot of those people are the best teachers because they made me on a whole nother. I read Malcolm X's biography twice. And both times I cried at some point in that while I was reading. I was on the bus reading the book. And I remember I had to close the book a couple times because it hit me different. And it was two different. I didn't read the same thing twice. You know what I'm saying? He was upset that with some of his Muslim brothers and some of the so-called, as he called them, so-called preachers, you know what I mean? Because they had disconnected themselves from the exact people that they were trying to save. You know what I mean? He was like, he was with another people. It was him and another guy from the streets, right? Because he was Malcolm Red. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He came. That's how he came up. And the guy was talking to them, and the preacher, one of the preachers or another, the Muslim brother was like, "Man, I understand the thing he just said." He was like, and he got disgusted with him. He's like, "How can you call yourself a leader and you not out and you can't
connect with the people?
That's your job." Now, every pastor isn't going to have that role, right? But you got to do your best. But maybe somebody else is. And one thing we can't do is we can't chop somebody down, right? Because we think that where they came from or what they represent is somehow not going to be valuable to the church. Because those very people that exist going to reach a whole new audience that you was never even touching. You know what I'm saying? And that's one thing we gotta be able to look at that. And be honest about what it is that we're looking at.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, do I think they can be delivered? I'm sure somebody who is a homosexual or lesbian or whatever will look at it and be like, well, I don't need to be, this is the way God made me. I don't have the answers. That's something that only you can determine for yourself in that walk.